What's going on, Geeks and Gamers? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and geeksandgamers.com, and Marvel's Avengers continues to flop horrendously. One of the biggest failures of 2020 in the video game industry, like we all thought it would be. Every step along the way with this game, we had problems with it. Whether it was the trailer, when the characters looked like Walmart versions of the Avengers. Whether it was when the leaks happened and we found out that the story wouldn't be so much about the Avengers we know, but focused on Kamala Khan. Or when we got to the beta and the game was so incredibly buggy, people knew there was no way they should release this game. But they went ahead and did it anyway. And as we all know, if you release a game broken, chances are it's going to stay that way and people are going to flee. And that they have. Look at this headline from Bounding Into Comics. Report, Marvel's Avengers results in $48 million loss for Square Enix. And I think it's more than that, actually, when we're going to take a look at these numbers. And I'll tell you why I think it's just a little bit more than that. But it's insane. And I don't think the future is any brighter for Marvel's Avengers as we look to see who's currently playing it right now. This is laughable, guys. 588 people are currently playing this game on Steam. At one point, there was nearly 30,000 people that were playing it on Steam at the same time. Now, just a few months after its release, it's down to less than 600 people. Only 888 in the last 24 hours. That's the peak. Take a look at the charts. It's barely in the top 500 of games that people are playing on Steam, getting beat by games that were released a decade ago or more. Embarrassing for Marvel's Avengers, embarrassing for Square Enix, who reported a massive loss. Let's get into the actual numbers here. Square Enix has reported that their recently released Marvel's Avengers title underperformed significantly, resulting in a $48 million loss for the Japanese video game holding company. In a recently released financial report, Square Enix revealed the company lost approximately 5 billion yen between the first and second quarters of the current fiscal year. And indeed, when you look at this, it's more than that. It's closer to 6.5 billion yen, which equates around $62 million. That's what I think it is. I think the math's a little bit off here, what people are reporting, because that's what it is. It's around 6.5 billion yen loss. That is an astronomical total for this company, and it's very embarrassing for them. While the company's first quarter profits were boosted by the release of the highly anticipated, well-received Final Fantasy VII Remake, the 6-month period between April and November that encapsulates the second quarter saw the release of only a single significant title. The Crystal Dynamics developed Marvel's Avengers. And here are the tweets right here. We can actually go take a look at some of them. I think we have them right here. David Gibson. Square Enix reported $6.5 billion loss for HD games driven by Marvel's Avengers. And then he goes here with an update. It looks like the total cost of the game is closer to $170 to $190 million. Why someone didn't say stop past the multiplayer beta will remain a mystery, but they're adamant that they can turn it around. Now, whether I think they can actually turn it around, I don't know. The fact that they only sold about 3 million copies of this across all platforms is shocking. But when we go and we look at the Metacritic score, look at how it was reviewed critically and by the fans. 3.2, that is absolutely pathetic. That's on PC. I think it's a little bit better on Xbox One, and then PlayStation, it's around a 5. Yeah, 5.1. So all around the board, mixed to very negative reviews for this game that is completely broken. People can't find matches. People are still having problems with the same things they had problems with since launch. But the question is, will this game be able to recover? And I think the answer is no. I mean, there's a chance if they stick with it. But unfortunately, we're in a period right now where they have so much to fix with their current game. They have delayed all the DLC and all of the next-gen games, next-gen version of the game, so they can fix the problems they have. But I think that in the long run, I don't know if it's going to be sustainable because you have a player base that is dropping because there's no new content, because everything is broken, everything is a struggle. There's nothing new in this game to keep people coming back. So they're leaving. But if you're telling me that you have to delay to get it fixed, I think that's good. You should focus on fixing your game. But unfortunately, look at this. Marvel's next-gen versions and character DLC have been delayed until at least 2021 for the next-gen. They didn't announce when they're going to release the DLC. Nobody has any idea. This is just such an absolute shit show for Square Enix, a shit show for Marvel's Avengers, and something that a lot of us saw coming. We said that this was going to be broken if they decided to release it the way it was. Now, we've talked a lot on the Game of the Geeks podcast about Cyberpunk and how its delay, as tough as it was the right thing to do. They should have delayed this game as well. By the way, little plug for the Game of the Geeks podcast. It is on this channel Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to listen to us talk and argue and bitch about games, come there. We're live every Saturday. So I think it's the right thing here as well with Marvel's Avengers. But in the long run, I don't know. Like, these player numbers, you've lost. Let's see, you're down to what, a 60th of what your audience used to be? A 50th? 2.5% of your player base remains on PC? That is not sustainable. And it makes me question whether they're ready to put in the money, the time, and the effort to save this game. Because right now, it is dead. It needs to be resuscitated, and you've already lost so much money, you're going to keep throwing money after it? That is the real question for Square Enix. It is pathetic for an IP like Marvel's Avengers. An IP like Marvel's Avengers to have this happen to it. One of the biggest IPs in the world, with one of the biggest launches we've seen, second biggest launch ever for a superhero game, to fail this badly, to lose this much money. It is a disaster for Square Enix right now. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Did you see this coming? Or have you been playing this game? I know a lot of people enjoy it. Young Rippa, Eric July, Lethal Lightning here on the team. He's loving the game, even though he acknowledges a lot of problems. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.